What's up, nerds? Welcome to an NGR Radio B-Sides here on youtube.com/NGR Radio. Remember, you can find it every Thursday at noon Eastern Time here. Subscribe, click the bell, leave a comment, ask a question, leave us a topic, because we want them. We want them all. Joining me, as always, that guy Matt and that guy Moose.
Hey.
Yeah. See, Matt's got those glasses on that makes him look like the nerdy chick that sits in the back of the class, but when she takes her glasses off and whips around her hair, becomes the hot chick.
When she takes her glasses off, she's me.
Yeah. That's what we in the industry. In the wise words of fake Sean Connery, 50 no's and a yes means yes. Yes, we're back.
That's true.
Corey
took a week off and he got good. I'm happy about this now.
I'm so excited. Look, I just needed this.
As long as the yes is at the end. So
I just needed that refresh, just like a woo.
Yeah.
Now
everybody needs them every once in a while. So.
Yeah. Actually, last week I was helping my wife with a work thing, so
working.
Happy wife, happy life. You know what I mean?
That's true, man. It's very true. I just made my wife very, very happy on Saturday. So
yeah, you did. Yeah.
He gave her $2.
Yeah. Best 30 seconds of her life.
Yeah.
That's how babies are made. Hey man, I got to get all my jokes in now.
50 no's. Yes.
You don't want to. Yeah.
I hope my daughter never sees anything I do on the internet.
Oh no, we're gonna show it to her.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Oh man, I can't wait till she's like 12 and at that really pinnacle point in middle school where you're either you're gonna be a dork forever or you're gonna be cool forever. And these videos just come pouring out.
Yeah, they just show up in her life. They're like, "Hey, Riley, is this your dad?"
We'll be like on episode 3,000 by then. I don't know how many episodes are in 10 years.
Sure.
I mean,
there conceivably there is a point where we all just lose our jobs and just do this every day. So yeah, I think
wouldn't that be amazing?
I could retire doing this. Wouldn't that be awesome? Like if you could retire, like just make shit.
Maybe more people like Captain Canada in Canada found out that we have more content than just this show.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, yeah, but like if I could be Ninja, who's making $500,000 streaming Fortnite. If I can maintain those numbers for a year, I'd do it for a year and then just be like, I'm done. I'm not doing anything. I'd pay off my house and I just keep living the same type of life and not spend too much money and be like, I'm not working anymore. And just see you guys every Monday night,
That'd be
Only
great.
Monday night, Moose? Only Monday night?
No, every night.
You guys, you two assholes in particular, Monday night. I got to tag team Jeff and Jason on Tuesdays. So, yeah.
Everybody.
And since Phillips is in the chat, there's a theme amongst all these records behind me. If you can guess it, I may have a present for you.
And he's not talking about the kind you leave in a bag on a doorstep.
No, I'm talking about actually, that's a pretty good kind.
Actually, like I can't see the theme.
Like on
They all have some sort of red coloring in them.
Nope, that's not it.
Well, what are the Beatles?
Dark Souls.
A naked dude that looks like a lady.
That's Iggy Pop.
And Dark Souls have in common. As the chief music guy here on NGR Radio, I know exactly who that was.
You were just testing us, right?
Okay.
I was making sure Matt wasn't a vinyl hipster poser and just had things sitting back there. Because for all I know, that Coral Reef Project vinyl thing back there that you got,
this one,
yeah,
that's Husker
it's just a fish tank with a black piece of paper behind it.
No, that's Husker Du.
See, you could be making up these words, and I wouldn't even know.
This is ABBA. That's Minor Threat. That's the Knife. I can't bend my arm. There you go. That's the Knife. And then there's Velvet Underground.
Go like this.
Fugees.
Like
Nick
this.
Drake. Right by my armpit is a band called Girls, and there's Royksop, White Stripes. And then over here, Dark Souls 3 and Beatles Abbey Road and The Police Synchronicity. Oh, and Big Star Radio City. All of those albums have one thing in common. All of them.
Producer?
Nope.
Mixer?
Nope.
Studio instrumentalists?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. Why don't we make this the B-side? Guessing what the one theme is, and then whoever gets it wins.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest. I like that, Phillips.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Good call, Phillips. I own all of them. Actually, no. Actually, this one here on lease. That is a good one, but that's not really what I was going for.
They were all out in the same decade, except for Dark Souls.
No. Dark Souls 3 is like
70s, 80s, 80s, 2000s, 90s, 60s. Yeah, no.
None of them are American.
Velvet Underground are American. Stooges are American. Big Star's American. Husker Du's American. Fugees are American.
Geography.
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
There is no obvious.
There is a very obvious theme, and I placed a couple of records where people could see them. So there's an obvious theme. I did that specifically so the hints were there.
Fire.
No.
Line work.
Okay, so I'm going to I'll at least name the albums. So I've got Big Star, Radio City, Husker Du, Warehouse, Songs and Stories, ABBA, The Visitors, Minor Threat, Out of Step. No, it's not alphabetical, Phillips. The Knife. No, it's not autobiographical.
I got that reference, you fucking asshole.
The Knife, Shaking the Habitual, Velvet Underground, Loaded, Fugees, The Score, Nick Drake, Pink Moon, The Police, Synchronicity, The Stooges, Raw Power, Beatles, Abbey Road, Dark Souls 3, and Royksop, The Inevitable End. Right behind me is Girls, The Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, and then White Stripes, Icky Thump. All of them are the final albums.
That makes sense. Okay.
What if they make Dark Souls 4?
I don't think they will.
I think they will.
The only
It won't be for software.
my only out there is they are the final albums at this point.
Yeah.
Fair.
That was good. Good.
Way to stump the guy that doesn't listen to music, Matt.
Yeah, I know.
So good. If only you were winning at 20 questions.
We're all tied right now, aren't we?
You have made a miraculous comeback, to be fair.
All of us did. I think Moose and I got off to Moose got off to a 2-0 flyer, and then you caught up to him, and I was like in the dust. And then
I haven't caught up to anybody. I've just maintain the lead, hide. Like,
yeah, Moose is the pace
out here
for this. Yeah.
So, and I might lose it.
Last recorded,
Ooh,
Phillips. Abbey Road was the last recorded. The Let It Be. The Let It Be was the last released.
What a great song.
It's a great song. It's a fucking shitty album. And the reason it was the last release because they went through 3 producers on it.
Ew.
They went through one guy, then Phil Spector, and then whoever ended up being the guy who they released. And then in the early 2000s, they released Let It Be Naked, which was a completely different mix without anybody touching it. It was real dumb. Didn't make the album any better.
No, please don't.
I mean, I'm only doing that on episode 100, Phillips.
Gosh, episode 100 is coming up.
Yeah, it's crazy how close.
I'm so excited.
Where are we at?
Well, we're on a B-side right now,
at?
Moose, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No,
we're on a B-side.
This week's episode was 88, by the way.
So we got like 12 more weeks.
88. Here's a fun fact about 88 that's music related. That's the number of keys on a piano.
It's the number of.
You feel real good, don't you?
I do.
Corey, you feel real good.
I do. The guy who took my wedding pictures taught me that fact. So I'm not going to take it myself.
Is it, Deshaun needs an answer. Is it twitch.tv/NGR radio or NGR radio podcast?
For what? For Twitch?
For
It's Twitch. It's twitch.tv/NGR radio.
Okay. So the first part of his question. There you go, Deshaun.
And then Phillips apparently has a question for Corey in regards to his Arsenal X show from a while ago. So I'm assuming he's typing it, but he hasn't typed it yet.
Well, yeah.
So
I guess we'll find out what that question is.
Yeah, like you're being really anticlimactic, Phil. Come on, get it together, man.
I mean, look at the man.
You guys watching the tournament at all? It's a B-side. We can talk about sports here.
Yeah.
Dude, what the heck?
We should just start a sports show called NGR Courtside.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't want to watch that much sports. Like, I just don't. I like watching it when I can, but like I'm not gonna. That would require me to follow it. I just don't have that kind of time. So Arsenal.
That's got a good question.
Arsenal X theme was what game should Valve put on Xbox? And I would ask, if Microsoft refused to put most of their games on Steam, why would or should Valve put their games on Xbox?
Honestly, I would be surprised if Valve went outside of Steam, to be honest with you, at this point. It's their platform. They can do whatever they want. They have the Steam machines or computers with big picture mode. Like, they are one of the very, very, very few companies that don't produce a console, quote unquote, that can put games on their own platform and say, that's it, we're done. I would say the only other company that could do that would be Blizzard at this point, where they'd be like, you know what? I mean, they already do that, right? Blizzard just does things on their launcher, except for the fact that they put their stuff on console. But like in terms of PC, their games aren't on Steam or Origin or Uplay or whatever other things people care about or don't care about. So like, I think
and he says any computer with Steam has big picture mode. I don't think we need to really nitpick that detail to that extent.
Oh my gosh, is he friends with Lee?
No, but
he's PC nerds.
He really, he loves detail. He's really good with detail.
Oh, he is the devil in the detail. He's
But
I love him for it.
Oh yeah, no,
we love Captain Canada here. We're not going to deport him if he moves here.
No,
I think
not wrong. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I've sat across from that man while he pulls out his Canadian accent to offend a waiter, and it was great.
I don't think Valve, honestly, though, I don't think Valve needs to put their games on anything other than Steam. Like it would help, sure. Like just like anybody, it would help put their games on another platform. But at the same time, they have enough cachet with their fans and everything that, like, you know, they've partnered with HTC and they've got their VR platform. They've got the Steam box. They've got Steam. They've got Big Picture Mode. They've got their own storefront that's the most popular in the world by a long shot. That they don't need to. And you know what? Whatever. I mean, they don't need Xbox. Xbox needs them more than
They don't need games. Valve does not need games at this point. Games needs Valve.
Besides Artifact, what was the last game they put out besides Dota 2?
Dota 2, that was it.
What? Portal 2, I guess.
They put out did Dota 2 come out before Portal 2?
I don't know.
I don't think it did.
think so.
I don't know. It very well might have. But I also know they put out that VR thing for Portal 2.
Team Fortress 2 hats.
Team Fortress 2 hat.
God damn it. No, but there was that VR thing they did with like
2013 Portal 2 was 2011.
Pardon me?
I said Dota 2 was 2013, Portal 2 was 2011.
Okay.
So Dota 2 was the last one. But then again, Phillips is right. It was the Team Fortress 2 hats.
But they also put out a VR thing for Oculus where it was Aperture Labs or whatever. I know they did something like that.
I know they license stuff out sometimes, like that Portal Bridge Constructor game just came out.
Yeah, and they licensed Portal stuff for the Lego game.
Yeah,
so, Lego Dimensions or whatever.
Yeah, but that's like not necessarily like them developing. So
true, but then
it's kind of like what it's like. It's almost like what are they doing right now? Because you know, I mean, they don't really have
printing money with Steam is what they're doing.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Like, they're printing money with Steam. So they're kind of like Sony, as in, like, their console is selling whether it has exclusives or not. And they can just let their development teams take all the time in the world to polish those games. Yeah. But it's almost to the point of, like, well, when you're doing polish for this long, like, a game, you know, like, Half-Life 3 is what, like, almost 10 years in the making, or 11 years, 12 years since Half-Life 2 came out, and it's like, where's 3? You know what I mean? Like, if you're working on it, like, you know, what's going on? Like, let's get these games out, you know? Like,
But I don't think we'll ever get Half-Life 3.
But
the only thing that I think they are serious about making games again, though, I mean, Artifact aside, but like that article that came out that said Gabe Newell was jealous. Like, I mean, it was just in a general interview, but he pretty much said he was jealous of Nintendo because they get to design the hardware and then design the software for the platform that they are building. Mm-hmm. And that always works for them. And he's kind of jealous of that, which, like, you know, that's totally understandable. Nintendo's been successful for the most part in terms of first party games in that regards, with a few exceptions, Virtual Boy. But, you know, I think if Valve came out and said, we're going to maybe build a console, like instead of like the half step that were the Steam boxes, if they came out and said they were going to build some type of PC console hybrid that people could play their games on, I think Valve is one of the few companies right now that could enter the console race and be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And I know so Google and Apple both want to, but like they're not going to be successful because those devices are going to be it's basically going to be like it's
a way to play mobile games on TV. Yeah.
So
Apple would be like niche because they try and make it niche, and like it would just be, I don't know, they do something ridiculous if they came out with another console, because they already tried to do one, didn't they? Apple, and it didn't like pan out.
Well, they did the Apple TV, which was like, it had a hard drive on it. You could play games on it, but it wasn't made for games.
Mm-hmm. Well, they spent like during the Steve Jobs era, they spent so much time pushing against games. Like
That's what it was.
Like Steve Jobs was adamantly against. Like he just didn't. I don't know what his real beef with it was, but he just like did not want.
He doesn't like buttons. Like that was
Well,
his whole
there's that
thing.
too.
Was like he doesn't like having clutter in a bunch of buttons, and I think like I don't know, just the fact that like a controller has a bunch of buttons, and maybe they could have gone the way of the Wii or like a touchscreen or something, but like those aren't games that like we'd want to play unless they're like really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few touchscreen games that are great games. You know, I think Threes is great. I think Angry Birds was great.
Drop 7's really good.
Yeah, Drop 7. Like there's exceptions to the rule, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 99% of the crap you find on your phone is garbage.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the only other company besides Valve that maybe could enter the race could be someone like Amazon because they have enough money to burn on that kind of stuff.
Oh,
And even then, I don't.
Like they make enough money in a week for R&D that Sony does for a year. Like it's ridiculous. But yeah. I think the one thing that actually, let's get into it. What would a new console manufacturer have to really set them apart? Because let's be real. For a long time, it was talk about Nintendo backing out of the hardware market, and they bounced back in a big way. And now,
exclusives.
God damn it, Phillips! How many goddamn cools we got on?
Just two. There's only two cools in the chat.
I'm just waiting for Moose to go, yo. Fucking Spaceballs. Anyway, no, but like we could say exclusives, but I mean, Valve doesn't need exclusives.
Well, they have exclusives, so they have a whole sleeve of exclusives.
Okay, what? Dota, Portal, Half-Life.
Dota, Portal, Left 4 Dead, Half-Life.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike.
Right, and all of those are on PC.
I get that, but I'm saying
what do they bring to a console market there?
Well, they don't.
I had fun platinuming Counter-Strike on PS3, but don't talk to Chris Har about that. He gets angry when I talk about that.
I didn't mean like those were just you can bring those to console and be like these are their. I just meant like they have IP that they could do something with. Like they could make a theoretically they could make a Dota fighting game or a Telltale style Half-Life game.
They could make Doden. Like Pokken, that'd be great. You basically have 200 fighters.
Maybe they'll make Super Smash Valve, and it's just like maybe it's just like the Portal gun or like GLaDOS versus what's his face? Any
of the characters from Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it Gordon Freeman? Is that his name?
Yeah, Gordon Freeman's from Half-Life.
Yeah. So
I think they would need to at least.
I just saw Deshaun. My name is Deshaun Kluhl.
And I'm adopted. I think. Phillips has got an idea. Valve and Nintendo team up for a Mario MOBA.
I mean, I'd be down. I would learn MOBAs.
I think they would need to at least have the baseline of what's out there already. So they need a good, online presence. Maybe not something that's already exists, but when they launch the console, it's going to have good online capabilities. A decent store. It's going to have a good list of games. And I mean, and if Valve comes out and says, "Hey, we're putting out a console," and it's a Steam machine as well. You've got every single Steam game you own that you can play there if you own a PC. And then they can start putting out they could put their exclusive stuff on there and expand on their IPs You know, I think that I agree with you, Corey. I think they're the best company that could possibly do a console and be successful the fastest. Like, I think, like, if Apple really wanted to put their mind to it, they can make a console and make it work, because they get all the bitches that buy iPhones to buy one. And then like Google would do the same thing with people that buy Android. Like, Google has a good presence. If they incorporated Google in some, like, you know, like the search engine and all that kind of technology some way into it, like, it would work. It would work pretty well. But I still think, like, Steam has the actual games to go with the console, as far as, like, I mean, Valve does as far as Steam goes. So
yeah.
I don't know. It would be interesting to see. I just, honestly, I'm one of those people that doesn't have any affinity for Valve. I don't care about anything they do. I mean, like, I've been playing Portal this past week, and even Portal's, like, it's fun. It's a cool idea. I don't know. I've heard so much hype about this game for so long, and I had never really played it. And now that I'm almost done with it, I'm like, it's a cool idea. I don't know.
See, I'm, like, we're in the same, like, camp, I think, because, like, I have no loyalty to any of their IPs. Now, I'll use their console because it'd be like a Steam engine, you know, like a Steam machine. And if I could play, like, other console games, like if Assassin's Creed, you know, came out on, you know, consoles, and I could play it there, you know, even if it was powerful enough to run most just PC versions of the game, that would be great. Yeah. That's why I would get it. But I'm not going to buy, you know, Valve's console just for their IPs alone, because I never really played Left 4 Dead, never really played Portal, never really played Half-Life. You know, I don't have a heart-on. I don't have a relationship with any of that stuff. So it's just like, okay, whatever. That's fine, Phillips. You could go to bed. It's nighty-night time anyways. You got to get up early tomorrow. He said, I can't listen to this insanity. So,
like, I've never played the Half-Life games. I never have. I'm not going to talk about them. I did not get a chance to touch Left 4 Dead. I played both Portal games, and I played Counter-Strike on console. I think the Portal games are great. I think they did things in shooters that had not been done before. But I think Corey is not completely wrong in coming to them now. It's very anticlimactic. It's like the people who are telling you about this movie they saw, and it's like one of their favorites. When you come, you're like, oh, well, I'm going to be completely moved by this too. And you're not.
Yeah.
Now, when I played Portal 2 the first time, I wasn't completely bowled over by it, but once I actually started thinking about it, like, I was like, huh, that's pretty brilliant, some of the things they do. I mean, even Portal 1, it's pretty brilliant how they just coalesced a shooter into a non-violent, essentially, puzzle game. But yeah, I think that they are brilliantly designed. They are probably a couple of the better made games in video game history. But you know, I wish Valve would do more. I mean, I don't care about if they bring out Half-Life 3 and everybody's disappointed. Fucking whatever. Dota just keeps making money almost hand over fist, just like Steam does, and that's a game that's free to play. Counter-Strike is essentially the same thing. Like, they have such a presence on PC and in esports that it's hard to escape, and it's hard to not want to jump on that bandwagon and try and be good. But I would welcome another contender to a console race, but at the same time, I think we need to start. I think someone, a console maker, probably needs to die in order to do it.
I was just gonna say, like, it might be the right time to do it after a console maker dies, like after current Like it won't be Nintendo. Probably won't be Sony. My money would be on Microsoft.
I mean, Microsoft.
And I want to say, to the Microsoft fans, not because it sucks, just because I think the Xbox brand would die because Microsoft would end up giving up on it. Yeah. That's what it would be. It would just be like, flat out, we've tried this, it's not working for us. And then, they're going the play anywhere route. And it's pretty much going to be almost where there's not even a console anymore. Just buy a PC and you can use your Xbox Live account on PC, and they'll either force their customers to go PC to stay on Xbox Live and play their games, or just give up on the brand altogether and play another, go to another console. So
yeah, and I
can totally see that happen.
Like, I don't know. Apart from another console maker dying, I have no clue what a console maker needs to bring to this table to survive, because frankly, all the consoles can basically do everything you need them to. They can go on the internet, they can play Blu-rays, they can, stream Netflix and anything Valve
and actually play games.
Yeah, and anything Valve would have to at least do that as well.
Yeah. See, and that's why I'm saying, like, they're the feather in their cap that makes them stick out is Steam games. Being able to play indie games, like for me, being able to expand my indie library, I'd be like, hell yeah, sign me up. Being able to play Hollow Knight right now, instead of having to wait for a Switch or a PS4 edition, being able to play Dead Cell right now, instead of having to wait.
Being able to play Into the Breach right now, being able to play old games that just never came to console, like FTL.
Or even playing Dark Souls and getting that mod that turns it into a roguelike going and just playing that, a better browser for your porn fix, as Andy likes to ask. Yeah, that would work.
Valve's box right on the front, Pornhub. Got it.
Exactly, man. Yeah,
they got you covered.
They make money.
They'll call it Porn Portal, because why not?
Porn Portal.
Nope. I knew you were gonna do that. Okay, so this is a cool little chat about another console maker. Let's see. I hope something. I mean, that'd be cool if it happened, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, not right now. There's three strong console makers, or three strong consoles in the market. I mean, one is kind of like limping, but it's still pretty. It's stronger than its previous gen. So you gotta give the Xbox One that, and it is currently the most powerful place to play current gen consoles games.
Your face when you say that,
nothing on there.
When you say that, it looks like Corey's face when I talk about music.
It's like it's just
how hard is it to fight your eyes just rolling all the way back into your head?
It's really fucking hard, because I mean, Sea of Thieves, like, everybody jizzes their goddamn pants over Sea of Thieves. It's like, this game's been how long in development? I can't wait to see the shit show that's going to be Crackdown 3. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it and fucking laugh at all the fans that are sucking my dick to say that it's a good game.
That's
the best fuck I've had.
I'm at a loss.
I mean, that's serious. Like, I feel like they're like, Microsoft fans have like a Stockholm syndrome, and they're like, because you look at the
but I feel like Sony fans had that in the PS3 generation too.
Yeah, that's probably true. But then they actually started putting out good games, so it's not like, PlayStation 3 was down because of their like arrogance and their shit show, and so they're probably doomed to repeat their arrogance again going into PlayStation 5 if they don't sidestep stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's like, like, Microsoft is not trying to make good games. Like, Sony is tried to make good games. It did make good games. Like, towards the end of the console life cycle of the PlayStation 3, they were turning things around and they were starting to gain.
Well, their first party was brought them back. Their first
Legit,
party
yeah.
brought
Like
them
Last
back
of Us,
legitimately.
Uncharted. I mean, like they had some really good first party games, and now they've got first party stuff now. I mean, Shadow Claw's just released, God of War's coming out, and there's a lot of good things going around about that, you know. But like Microsoft's just like, we're not even gonna fucking try. It's like,
See, the one thing I think Sony had in its favor, I mean, I'll say this, and this is probably sycophantic at worst, but I think Greg and Colin, when they were at IGN, well, I mean, it sounds. I mean, like I've grown out of listening to them. I respect to both of them, do what they got to do, but I feel like they beat that drum long enough and loud enough that people started to listen, and it turned that ship around. I mean, it had to play a part because even Sony executives were like asking to come on that show after a while.
Yeah,
and they were.
Philip says, "Go ahead."
And they weren't just saying, "Oh, y'all are fucking missing out on Infamous. Y'all are missing out." They were like saying, "Hey, you know, sure, Call of Duty is going to come to Xbox first, and there are more Xboxes, but like Microsoft doesn't have the Pixel Junk games. It doesn't have Shatter. It doesn't have Horde. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were making sure to point out specific cool things that people were missing, and I feel like Microsoft right now just doesn't have a voice like that."
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I mean, it sucks, and you know. I don't think that's going to be what kills them, though.
Yeah. Philip says, when I was talking about the games that are like Sea of Thieves and I can't wait to see Crackdown, he's like, do you mean the games MS announced at E3 2014 and yet Sony is the one who gets made fun of for delays?
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their stuff is all delayed. Yeah, I agree with them. Where's Crackdown 3? Where's Below? State of Decay 2 is supposed to come out. Actually, Philip, you're wrong.
How is Below?
2 does have a release date.
How is Below not out yet?
It's supposed to be.
Isn't that Cabby?
Yeah. They just showed it. They showed it at something recently, and they're showing it at PAX. So they said they weren't going to show it again until it was ready, and they're starting to show it again. So I assume it's going to be ready soon. Maybe.
I mean, I have this sneaking suspicion, and it'll be maligned just like the game I'm going to mention is. I think Sea of Thieves is more akin with No Man's Sky, except the thing No Man's Sky did on announcement was send everybody's imagination running wild, whereas Sea of Thieves, it sent everybody questioning what it is.
Yeah.
And but see that also could be because everybody had learned from No Man's Sky by that point. Now, personally, like if for some reason Sea of Thieves were to come to PS4, I'd be interested. I really would. I mean, I've watched more of that game this past week than I have. Just because I think it's an interesting premise, but you know, like No Man's Sky, there's not a lot there, and I can't really.
Well, now there is.
Like
there's a 30-hour story now.
No, in Sea of Thieves.
Have you seen that?
What?
Sea of Thieves.
The story was added, 6 months after. I mean, but like,
and that's probably what's going to happen with Sea of Thieves,
right? But I'm just saying, I got what I wanted out of No Man's Sky, but everybody else was angry about their own imposed projected desires for No Man's Sky that weren't there. Now,
right.
There were some things that Sean Murray and Hello Games said that were just not there. But I actually said, when I saw that game, I'm like, I'm going to play this when it comes out. Whatever happens between now and then, I will, if there's news stories, I will read them, but I am not going to watch any content unless it was like at E3 or something. But so yeah, I still think No Man's Sky is one of the best games of this decade, but I don't expect a lot of people to agree with me.
Yeah.
And that face for Moose is all I needed to see. It's like, I just need a beer.
Well, I don't know. I played it. Now I've enjoyed what I play with it, and I'm like you, Matt. Like I just tried to stifle my expectations.
Yeah.
So like, so I can understand how people were angry because Captain Canada says, in all fairness, a lot of the content that was promised for No Man's Sky was not there at launch. That's on Hello Games, but there was a lot of people hoping for that game to fail for whatever reason, and that's true too. A lot of people were like just wanting that game to fail, and they just shit on it. Some people shit on it for not even playing it, and it's just like, okay, well, I just
a guy
when I was playing on it at the time,
podcast used to shit on it, and he's like, well, "What about all this stuff not being in?" I'm like, "Have you played the game? No, okay,
yeah,
all right,
yeah." Well, my thing is like I felt like it was like, in all honesty, Minecraft in space almost. Like I would just go around and like mine stuff and try and find things and like try and survive on the planet. So it was like kind of relaxing, it was like a game where I could just sit there and just play it, and just relax and enjoy it. So I would love to go back. I want to go back and I want to platinum it again. And that'll be something that'll happen in 2019. I don't think I'm gonna get any platinums this year because I got 20 games to beat. So it's just like, it's kind of ridiculous. The only one I'll probably get is for Cosmic Star Heroine. But anyways, but I just think, I don't know. I think Sea of Thieves is kind of No Man's Sky for Microsoft. I mean, it's been how long in development? It's a larger team. Now here's where you can give them shit. It's a larger team than Hello Games. Right. And they took how long to make this game, and this is what it is. Yeah. Like, I mean, come on. It's like, come on. Like, a fucking B team for Sony could take that long to make a game and put out a better game than what was put out there. So
B teams for Sony have.
I think you're right. Sony Bend has done that with not necessarily Siphon Filter, but when they did that Unit 13 for the yeah. So I mean, it's just I think they're just struggling. And to be honest, as much as I disagree with what Microsoft does and how they screw their customers over, I need them to succeed because I need them to challenge Sony so that Sony doesn't just rest on their laurels and just be like, we're number one, so we don't have to do anything. Like the fucking Microsoft doing real shitty in this console war, like keeps me from getting all the exclusives because they just keep them on the shelf and keep them polished, and they won't release them until sales are not as well as they used to be. So it does kind of screw me over in a way. Yeah. So, like, people want to sit there and say console wars aren't important, but yes, they are because it breeds competition. So, anyways, that's my 6 cents.
I think like the last thought on this subject were like, Sea of Thieves and Crackdown and Gears and Halo. I think Microsoft and Sony's strategies are totally just separating at the, like, they couldn't be farther apart, where Microsoft is really banking on the games as a service. We're adding content to all of our games for free. We're adding all of our first party games to Game Pass, so people will hopefully continue to keep paying for the cosmetic stuff and microtransactions, whereas Sony has really taken the other step and gone full single player in terms of Horizon and God of War and Days Gone, and they're just completely just taking over the single player realm. And then there's Nintendo, who's just hop, skip, and a jump, just doing whatever they want. So
I mean, right now
it works, sometimes it doesn't.
right now. So this is just what, if you're new to the PlayStation, or if you're just if you're buying a PS4 or you're even playing PS4, right now you've got free access to 2 great exclusive games with PlayStation Plus. You've got Bloodborne, you got Ratchet and Clank. Now in April, I can't remember what comes in April, but there's a game. I know they're bringing Dragon's Crown. The Dragon's Crown port comes over in April, and then in May is God of War, and then also in May is whatchamacallit?
Dark Souls.
No, Dark Souls, and then as well is whatchamacallit?
Detroit.
Yes, thank you. Detroit and Dark Souls come out on the same day. So I mean, like, you can't, like, it's just
ironic. 2 games One called Become Human and one Dark Souls where you choose to be human or undead.
I'd rather go undead. I'd really rather just watch the world fucking burn in those games. I love the games to death, but I think
Gotta
I've
be
had
human to
this-
play with others, though.
Well, I guess I'll be human because I love you, Matt. I want to play with you.
Yeah, you do. Shave that beard and we'll talk. No,
I
Corey.
don't know why I still do this show anymore.
It's short, man. So it'll do a nice job of tickling the balls.
Okay, good. All right. As long as we have that.
Speaking of tickling the balls, I hope we tickled your balls here on this episode of NGR Radio B-Sides.
$20 is $20.
I ain't gay, but $20 is $20.
Oh man!
Or
you can find
Matt,
B-Sides
case.
every Thursday here on YouTube.com/NGR Radio and NGRradio.com. Bring your beers, bring your games, bring your
balls.
and bring your balls. Tune in at noon every Thursday, and until next week, we love you.